Zechariah chapter 13, beginning in verse 9. God says this, He says, I will refine them as one refines silver. I will test them as gold is tested. They will call upon my name, and I will answer them. I will say, they are my people. And they will say, the Lord is my God. Have you ever thought about how the refining process of gold and silver? Lots of people don't know about this different stuff, but gold and silver was actually found together in most places, and it still is. When it is mined, it's found together in most places. And in the ancient days, gold had to be separated from that silver, and silver was thought to be a byproduct. If you look at the stock market, if you look at the value of silver, sometimes silver is worth more than gold these days. But back then, it was almost regarded as worthless. Gold was where people thought the real value was, and it sort of still is. Gold and silver were refined and purified by harsh processes in the ancient world, involving fire and acid and salt to separate and to refine them. This was called gold parting. It wasn't until 1874 when a guy named Emil Woolwheel, say that 5 times fast, perfected purification of gold, what is known as the Woolwheel process, which produces a near-perfect purified gold product with a purity of 99.99%. Most processes up to this time only got up to about 90% purity, and ancient processes were lucky to get 75% purity. If you think about it, our Christian lives are kind of like this gold purification process. We don't necessarily know the value of God until our faith has been tested and we've been put through the fire. In the New Living Translation, it says this fairly uniquely, and I wanted to read from that, from James chapter 1, verses 2 through 4. James says this, for when your faith is tested, your endurance has a chance to grow. So let it grow. For when your endurance is fully developed, you will be strong in character and ready for anything. Wow, that's encouraging, isn't it? If you find yourself doubting God and His will for you, you're in good company. Psalm 13:1, David asks, how long, Lord, how long will you forget me forever? How long will you hide your face from me? Psalm 69, verses 1 through 3, David confesses, he says, save me, O God, for the waters have come up to my neck. I sink in the miry depths where there is no foothold. I have come into the deep waters, the floods engulf me. I am worn out, calling for help. My throat is parched. My eyes fail, looking for my God. Have you ever felt like that? When we're tested, we might feel like that. When things happen to us that maybe shouldn't or maybe haven't, we feel like that. David's prayers are bold here. They're brutally honest. Maybe you felt as if your prayers are bouncing off the ceiling. I like to use that phrase sometimes. Maybe God has earplugs or His fingers in His ears and He isn't listening to you at all. King David here was a man after God's own heart. He even felt this way. So how should we respond when we feel that way? Well, this is David's 2 responses in these prayers. Psalm 13, verses 5 and 6. But, there's a but, I trust in your unfailing love. My heart rejoices in your salvation. I will sing to the Lord, for He has been good to me. And then his response in Psalm 69, verse 30, I will praise God's name in song and glorify Him with thanksgiving. We need to always remember that God is here. We are not alone. That when we are tested, that when things maybe don't go the way that we want them to go, God will always be there with us.